right.
Of injustice.
Yes, yes,
For me,
yes.
I support Marilyn Nigga. I am proud of those third graders for having the courage to write the letters. I am so proud, and I support Mumia Abu-Jamal, but I am kind of shocked that this board or whomever was the one in charge of this would have their pulse, or that the Fraternal Order of Police would have the pulse, would have the ear of the people in this town, the Fraternal Order of Police that has supported every vicious act of police brutality, every murder of black children. They have supported that. They have supported. We need teachers. I saw a wonderful presentation where the children talked about justice. They talked about Selma. Selma is real. Those people stood up. They stood up. Now, I heard a lot of news about Rosa Parks. Wonderful woman. Well, I got to tell you that March 2nd, 1955, there was somebody before Rosa, a young person, Claudette Colvin. She stood up and she inspired a revolution. We might not even heard of Martin Luther King had it not been for this young girl. And every time Miss Claudette Colvin tells what happened, okay, she talks about the teacher who was teaching her about Sojourner Truth, and the teacher taught against the convention at that time, but it was the teacher who inspired her.
Will not allow anybody to relinquish their time to other speakers. If you know you're not going to speak and you're not going to like the 3 minutes, just sit down and let it.
It's a public meeting. It's a public meeting. In South Orange Maplewood, you can yield your time. That's the law of the land. That's the law of the land. You can yield your time at a public meeting. Slavery is still here. Plantation is still here.
I'm here to support the teachers. They had the courage to instruct our third class students to write the email cards to Mumia Abu-Jamal. Mumia Abu-Jamal was convicted of a crime he did not commit. He did not shoot the court officer. He was driving a cab that night. He saw his brother being beat by law enforcement officers. He stopped. Somebody else shot a fellow police officer. Mumia Abu-Jamal put in jail for 34 years for a crime he did not commit. So I'm here to support the teacher that had the guts to instruct the class to write get well cards to Mumia Abu-Jamal. Thank you.
My name is Shakia Narks. I'm literally known as Purple. I live 31 Vaughn Drive in Newark, New Jersey. I am an arts educator, employed and partner in many organizations here and abroad. I am a cultural ambassador. And I am sent to encourage people to utilize their voice and speak their truth, because the story depends on who's telling it. I am also a friend and a former colleague of Marilyn's name. So I've been with her as she's been studying and coming up in the ranks. It's very clear. Her purpose, her intention is to educate. She will do so. So I encourage the community to have her with you and treat her as a community member as she develops and continues. She will continue to go no matter where she is. But I think this is a great opportunity for the community to come together. Because when the media goes, the story is still going to be left with the messages left with the third graders when they put back their messages. And it's really important how we treat our ironically, again, hip-hop being my self-expression, we used the song Glory, which was, recognized. But if we really read and listen to those lyrics and then stand in that position and look at Marilyn's choice, opportunity that was creatively created to not only just educate, but to encourage life as a learning practice and experience and experiment. So the awards are given tonight, interestingly as well, to students acknowledging for the same traits that Maryland has always exhibited as a life practice. So what are we actually doing? And I say that because this is a community issue. That's why I say we. To not support courageous educators who are intentionally creating opportunities to learn may actually create some backlash from those young people as they get older and start to ponder on what education and learning actually is. Now, do our curriculums actually acknowledge and tell the truth about our stories? I came up through, even up until historically black college. Until I was in my late 20s and I joined the Dessert Club, did I not travel and learn about the great contributions black and brown people have made when I traveled to Egypt and learned it was actually connected. So there are not a lot of times in curriculum that we would actually get a story from other perspectives. So again, I just encourage you to look at how you're dealing with this matter. Thank you.
My name is Dewan Alford. I am a lifelong citizen of this community. I work in many capacities here in the city of Lawrence. I'm currently an educator. I work at Rutgers University in a nonprofit capacity, and I am a nonprofit advocate here in town. This is not for the community. This is for you. My words right now, and I pray that you can hear what I'm saying to you. You all, as colored people here on this board, understand very clearly of the injustice that was done amongst our people in the time period in which Mumia was arrested, allegedly for crimes that was never proven against him. Regardless of where these pressures are coming from for you as administrators, can you please find it in your heart to understand the sincerity of this young woman who, of all the other teachers who would never be mentioned at any of our board members, at our board meetings, but for a young professional like myself to have the creative wherewithal to incorporate real-life issues, to tie in realistic African-based, realistic social issues that are happening with us right now. Fear for my life. I work with young males who I can't tell them to reach and pull their wallets out when the police. We're re-policing how to keep our young people. When I get pulled over by the police, I'm terrified. I'm terrified. That's right. I can't touch the wheel. I can't reach for my license or registration or anything. I'm asking y'all as administrators to stand up against whatever pressures are coming from you, whatever maternal illness or political and whatever it is coming from. Have a backbone enough to say our people here in our community are committed to our young people so much so that they are using their imagination and their creativity to tie in real life social issues to teach our young people. So I'm done.
Good evening. My name is T.J. Whitaker. I'm a teacher in the South Orange Maplewood School District. I'm here to speak in support and stand in solidarity with Maryland. Our young people to show, right? So, as a teacher, I would love to be a colleague of Maryland's Amigos. I would love to have a colleague like Maryland's Amigos. I'm also a parent. I have a 10th grader and I have an 8th grader. If they had teachers like Maryland when they were in 3rd grade, I would have been enamored. I wouldn't have had to send them to school with some of the material that they had to educate their teachers. They would have had someone like Maryland. They would have had someone like Maryland engaging their critical thinking, getting them to think about their reality. All power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people.
Your first and last name?
My name is Dawn Hayes, and I reside in Newark. I'm a parent of a third grader and a first grader. And I am frustrated that this is even coming to you as a board. If our children don't learn what compassion is, if they don't learn how to support those in need of support, what are we leaving our next generation? We sit here so careless about a person who is incarcerated, no matter what his charges was, whether he's innocent or guilty, the difference between him and a soldier that's murdering people over in Iraq would be what? Nothing. But we are condoning sending letters, we wish you well to people that's overseas. My thing is, our children deserve to have an open mind about what's going on in their society. The Homicide Act, which is a law, let me not get it twisted, they're supposed to learn about their history, whether it's good, bad, and indifferent. We can't tell them how to teach them about President Jefferson, who did all God knows what to his slaves. Like this brother said, we have our black men and women afraid of life. Officers now are being killed. So if in the and he was defending himself at that point, look at what it has led to us dealing with today. We are still watching our men get murdered and abused by our justice system. We have to stop somewhere. We have to put our feet down today because my children are witnessing this. They are being taught what's going on in our society, and if we don't stand up to them in your generation, my generation is sure going to do it, and I appreciate now what we're doing.
My name is Lawrence Ham. I'm the chairman of the People's Organization for Progress. We are here tonight because Marilyn Zuniga is our hero. Members of the board, Dr. Howard, administrators, teachers, parents, students, community. The People's Organization for Progress appeals to the board. Number one, not to terminate Marilyn Zuniga. Number two, we ask that you lift the suspension on this teacher. Number three, we ask that you restore her to her job and let her continue to teach the compassion that our children need to learn. Members of the board, having once been a board member myself, I know how the process operates. I know that you have met in executive session and you probably have made some type of determination. If that determination is to in fact terminate or ask for this teacher's resignation, I ask that you make a motion to table this decision. To table the decision and to go back and deliberate some more. Would it be too heavy a thing for you to deliberate, to ponder this a week more or 2 weeks more and discuss this some more? Members of the board, I see that you are African Americans and Haitian Americans. We are